the weight loss lie you've been sold for 50 years. Let's be honest, the eat less, move more mantra is the medical equivalent of telling a drowning person to just try being less wet. It's condescending, scientifically illiterate, and frankly, it's a multi-billion-dollar scam designed to keep you on a treadmill of perpetual failure. If weight loss were as simple as balancing a checkbook, we wouldn't have an obesity epidemic in a country obsessed with low-fat yogurt and soul-crushing cardio. I tell people all the time that while weight loss is relatively easy, long-term maintenance once the weight has been lost is the hardest thing in all of medicine. It has a 90+% failure rate. For 5 decades, the industrial food and medical industrial complex has peddled a reductionist lie. They told us to simply eat low-fat foods to lose weight and keep it off. They came out with one weight loss miracle drug after another and told us that that would solve the problem. Clearly that hasn't worked, and we all know the definition of insanity. Just in case is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. They want you to believe that your body is a simple furnace where you toss in calories and burn them off with enough exercise and willpower. This is not how human biology works. Your body is not a steam engine. It is a complex, adaptive survival machine regulated by your nervous system. Hormones, cellular signaling molecules, nutrition, activities, and your environment. When you slash your calories to starvation levels, your body doesn't say, "Oh, thank you for the opportunity to burn this visceral fat." Instead, it screams famine and slams the brakes on your metabolic rate. This isn't just my opinion. It's a documented biological reality known as adaptive thermogenesis. A landmark study published in Obesity followed contestants from The Biggest Loser and found that 6 years after their extreme weight loss, their resting metabolic rates remained nearly 500 calories per day lower than predicted for their size. Their bodies literally fought back to regain the weight. Most people searching for weight loss in Sarasota are stuck in this exact yo-yo trap, wondering why they can't starve their way to health. Our bodies view fat like money in the bank. Where we see flab, it sees security. The truth is, you've been sold a bill of goods. The diet industry doesn't want you to fix your metabolism. They want you to buy another low-cal, low-fat food and continue your subscription to whatever weight loss meds they have you on. At ARTC, I don't deal in subscriptions to failure. I deal in the restoration of biological sovereignty. That's what genuine weight loss Sarasota medicine looks like. If you have tried every fad diet from intermittent fasting to keto to cabbage soup and still find yourself gaining back every pound plus interest, listen closely. It is not your fault, but it is your biology. We are hardwired to store and hold on to fat. When you engage in significant calorie restriction, you trigger a cascade of survival mechanisms. Your thyroid activity drops, your hunger hormones, like ghrelin, spike, and your satiety signals, like leptin, vanish. Your body enters a catabolic state where it will cannibalize your precious muscle tissue for energy rather than tap into your fat stores. Why? Because fat is survival insurance and muscle is an expensive metabolic luxury your body thinks it can no longer afford. Muscle can be broken down faster and used to make glucose, whereas to burn fat, you need properly functioning mitochondria, which are pretty rare in this day and age unless you know how to revive them. Furthermore, we live in a world of fake food, ultra-processed garbage engineered to bypass your natural satiety triggers. These chemical concoctions create systemic inflammation, which leads to mitochondrial dysfunction. Think of your mitochondria as the cellular batteries that burn fat for fuel. If the batteries are corroded by inflammatory seed oils and high fructose corn syrup, you can't burn fat efficiently, regardless of how much you exercise. Quick note, I don't go along with demonizing all seed oils. There are a couple that are super healthy, like pumpkin seed oil. Unfortunately, they have once again thrown the baby out with the bathwater. The result? You're tired, you're hungry, and you're storing fat while your cells are literally starving for real nutrients. This isn't a lack of discipline, it's a biological mismatch between your ancient genes and a modern toxic environment and lifestyle. This is why weight loss Sarasota patients who have done everything right still can't get traction. The problem is systemic, not personal. Most doctors look at a standard blood panel, tell you your numbers look fine, and send you home with a pat on the back and a generic diet sheet. This is lazy medicine. To understand why you are gaining weight, we have to look at the metabolic mess happening under the hood. Having normal lab results simply means that you fall into 2 standard deviations of the mean, or average, of all the not-so-healthy people that go to that lab. Normal is not healthy anymore. The huge culprit is insulin resistance. Insulin is your primary fat storage hormone. When your cells become deaf to its signal, usually due to a lifetime of carbohydrate overload and inflammation, your pancreas has to pump out even more insulin to get the job done. High insulin levels act like a biological lock on your fat cells. As long as insulin is high, your body physically cannot access stored fat for fuel. You are effectively locked out of your own energy reserves. Then there are the hormonal drivers that most weight loss clinics in Sarasota completely ignore. Low testosterone in men. Without adequate T, your body defaults to a catabolic state, losing muscle and accumulating man boobs and visceral fat. Estrogen/progesterone imbalance in women. Perimenopause and menopause can create a weight loss resistance that no amount of treadmill time can fix. Elevated cortisol, chronic stress tells your body to store fat specifically in the abdominal area to protect your vital organs. Sluggish thyroid. Even if your TSH is normal, you may not be converting enough T4 to the active T3 hormone that actually drives your metabolism. Underactive thyroid metabolic rate is at epidemic proportions. Some estimate it at 70+% of the population. Finally, we must address visceral fat. This isn't just a cosmetic issue. Visceral fat is a toxic endocrine organ. It pumps out inflammatory cytokines that worsen insulin resistance and further damage your metabolism. It's a self-reinforcing cycle of degeneration. Until this cycle is addressed at the root, weight loss Sarasota patients will keep spinning in the same frustrating loop. You've likely heard the buzz about weight loss injection Sarasota. The arrival of GLP-1 receptor agonists like semaglutide, Ozempic/Wegovy, and dual agonists like tirzepatide, Mounjaro/Zepbound has changed the landscape. Now we even have the third generation, retatrutide, a triple agonist that targets GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon receptors. These peptides are powerful tools. They help reset the brain's hunger signaling, improve insulin sensitivity, and slow gastric emptying. However, and this is a massive however, they are not and should not be a standalone fix. Most clinics and online sites are just handing out these drugs like candy without any metabolic support. If you take these medications without resistance training and adequate protein intake, you will lose weight, but 40% or more of that weight could be lean muscle. This leaves you skinny fat with a lower metabolic rate than when you started, setting you up for a massive rebound the moment you stop the injections. At ARTC, we do semaglutide versus tirzepatide Sarasota differently. The same applies to retatrutide. We use these peptides as part of a comprehensive weight loss Sarasota protocol designed to preserve your metabolic engine muscle while aggressively targeting fat. If you want to know which one is right for you, call to schedule a consultation or check out our tirzepatide Sarasota guide. Here's a secret the diet gurus won't tell you. You burn fat in a fire pit that requires oxygen. Those fire pits are our mitochondria, and if you can't get sufficient oxygen to your tissues, your cells, and to your mitochondria, you can't burn fat, period. Most people struggling with chronic weight issues have a compromised microvascular system. Over time, your tiny capillaries, the last mile delivery routes for oxygen and nutrients, become constricted or clogged due to inflammation and aging, damaged mitochondria, and the smooth muscle as well as damaged glycocalyx. This creates a state of cellular hypoxia, low oxygen. At ARTC, we utilize EWOT, exercise with oxygen therapy. By breathing high concentration oxygen while performing light exercise, we create a pressure gradient that forces oxygen into the smallest capillaries and even into the plasma itself. This is the only documented way to reset and open the microcirculation throughout the entire body. When you open these pathways, you finally give your mitochondria the fuel they need to burn fat. It's like opening the flue on a fireplace. Suddenly, the metabolic fire can roar. For anyone pursuing weight loss in Sarasota, this oxygen advantage is not a luxury. It is foundational. To learn more about how we use this, if you are trying to lose weight by just walking on a treadmill, you are wasting your time. Long-duration, steady-state cardio can actually increase cortisol and lead to muscle wasting. To truly fix your metabolism, you must build muscle mass, or at the very least maintain it. Muscle is your primary metabolic engine. It is the most metabolically active tissue in your body. The more muscle you have, the higher your resting metabolic rate, meaning you burn more calories even while you're sleeping. We utilize ARX, adaptive resistance exercise, which is the most efficient and technologically advanced way to build lean muscle. ARX uses computer-controlled resistance that perfectly matches your strength at every millimeter of every rep. It allows for a level of intensity and safety that is impossible with free weights. The best part, because it is so efficient, an entire full-body workout takes just 20 minutes a week. No more spending hours in the gym. We prioritize muscle preservation because we know that muscle is your metabolic reserve. Without it, every weight loss Sarasota program eventually ends the same way. The scale goes down, the metabolism crashes, and the weight comes back. You cannot separate fat loss from hormonal health. If your hormones are in a catabolic breakdown state, your body will fight weight loss every step of the way. At ARTC, we integrate hormonal optimization as a core pillar of our weight loss Sarasota programs. This isn't about bodybuilding doses. It's about restoring your levels to their optimal physiological peak. TRT for men restores the anabolic drive to build muscle and burn belly fat. BHRT for women balances estrogen and progesterone to mitigate the menopause middle by shifting your internal environment from store fat/burn muscle to burn fat/build muscle. We make your weight loss Sarasota results a biological certainty rather than a constant struggle. We've all been told that spot reduction is a myth. That's another half-truth. While you can't crunch away belly fat, you can use advanced technology to target localized fat deposits that are resistant to diet and exercise. These stubborn areas are often dictated by your genetics and your specific hormonal blueprint. Men hold it in the love handles and abdomen. Women often struggle with the hips, thighs, and triceps. At ARTC, we use specialized techniques to address these areas. Rapid cryotherapy, using extreme cold to kill fat cells that are then reabsorbed by the body and eliminated. Whole body cryotherapy to trigger brown fat activation and localized lipid metabolism while reducing systemic inflammation. Liquid lipo, targeted applications designed to help break down the structural integrity of localized fat cells. This consists of special injections of lipid/fat dissolving solutions that break down fat cells, which are then eliminated from the body. These are the finishing touches of a complete weight loss Sarasota program. The precision layer that helps you sculpt the body you want after we fix the underlying metabolic engine. We don't believe in cookie cutter medicine. Your metabolic dysfunction is unique to you, so your solution must be as well. The ARTC approach is a layered protocol overseen directly by me, Dr. Max McLeod, DO, ND, PhD. I've spent decades studying the intersection of clinical science and holistic health, and I don't have time for fads. Our protocol follows a logical progression: metabolic assessment. First, we don't guess, we test. We look at fasting, insulin, A1C, a full thyroid panel, not just TSH, sex hormones, cortisol, and inflammatory markers. You have to make sure you understand what's not working properly before you try to fix the engine. Nutritional foundation, we provide PhD level nutritional health optimization focused on real food, high protein, and eliminating inflammatory seed oils. Not all seed oils are bad or inflammatory, contrary to what some health influencers are saying. Most are relatively new to all of this, and I've been studying it for 55 years. Peptide therapy, when appropriate, we utilize semaglutide, tirzepatide, or retatrutide to provide a metabolic head start. Oxygen and resistance, we use EWOT to open the microcirculation and ARX to build the metabolic engine. Hormonal balance, we ensure your chemical messengers are working for you, not against you. This is the most integrated medical weight loss Sarasota clinic in the region, if not the world. We are the only ones combining these specific technologies into one cohesive system. If you are sick of the standard of care that has left you overweight, tired, and discouraged, and you're ready for a real weight loss Sarasota approach that treats the whole metabolic picture, you are a candidate. If you are an athlete looking to shed that last layer of visceral fat to optimize performance, you are a candidate. If you are anyone who values their health span and wants to age in reverse, you belong here. Your first consultation isn't a high-pressure sales pitch. It's a deep dive into your history and your goals. We'll discuss where your metabolism has stalled and map out a path to restart it. If you like what you hear, we will design a customized weight loss Sarasota plan for you and monitor you along the way to achieving your health, performance, and appearance goals. The longer you wait, the more entrenched these metabolic patterns become. Every day you spend with high insulin and systemic inflammation is another day of cellular damage. The longer metabolic dysfunction runs unchecked, the harder the reset.